It still says going live, but it fools me. So hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm teacher Casey. Hey, Stephanie and Kathy are in the chat. Thanks for coming, guys. And on with me today, I have Lucy and Mary. Hey, ladies, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
It's
Doing
so
well.
good to see you again. Mary's just back from vacation, and Lucy was on here last week, so stuck with me again, Lucy.
No, you're stuck with me.
I'm excited to have you here because I have another topic that I have no idea about. So bringing in the expert over here, Lucy, who did you help make some of the certification videos for this one?
Yes, I made all of the videos for this one too.
Wow.
Wow.
Excellent.
So you're the perfect person to have on here.
Yeah.
Well, I know some of the things that they want. I just finished some videos for like parent concerns or from the education too. So
yeah.
Those will, I don't know when they're going up, but there were 4 more videos that for whatever purpose, wherever they go for the speaking course.
Good. So now I've only taught one speaking course. So I guess maybe we'll start with what the speaking course is. I thought it was interesting. It's designed by the VIPKid curriculum. So it's not like we talked about some of the other ones that they've brought in. VIPKid curriculum team. They're one-on-one classes, 25 minutes. They're to improve speaking ability by motivating students to speak on like real life topics, things they may be familiar with, maybe not necessarily the terms, but like I taught the playground one before, or yesterday, day before. So it's fresh in my mind. So they know what a playground is. Maybe they don't have all the vocabulary, but it was really fun to see him talk about what he has on the playground at school and things like that. So, and the kids get to choose the topics. So it's students, the kids and the parents.
Awesome.
Now, Lucy, correct me if I'm wrong. It's their level or one below them, right? That they can choose any of those topics.
Right. And it could be the student chooses or the parent chooses for them. But the topic is chosen by the family, someone in the family.
Now, there was another VIPKid class that I used to teach. I don't know if it was called Free Talk or something else.
Free Talk.
Yeah.
Free Talk. So that gone by the wayside, or is that still available?
It is still there. I teach Free Talk every week to 2 students. That's the only thing he's been taking. One of them has been taking since for almost a full year. He's going through the topics for a 3rd time.
Wow.
That's all he takes.
So how is Free Talk different then from the speaking class?
I think there's more extensions with the speaking class. I think the Free Talk, you have to extend, but you can kind of make it to that 25 minutes, like easier. I think with the speaking, you have more freedom to talk about their real life playground and their, what's on your playground. Have you ever seen a seesaw and things? I don't know. What do you think, Lucy?
I agree with that. Also, the Free Talk is more structured and they have specific sentence patterns that they want them to learn. Yeah. And by the end of it, they should answer these 5 or 6 questions using that sentence pattern. And so the speaking course is designed more to give a topic and then let it go down a rabbit trail. And so you get to take the student down their rabbit trail, then sum it up and bring them back to the next part of the topic. So it's really very student centered, where the Free Talk is more, it's a little student centered, but you don't have as much freedom. You can't go down the rabbit trails.
Wow, that's awesome.
And some of these topics I think are more, they're real life and Free Talk too, right? But it's some history, and I think these ones right now in the speaking course are more like what they're doing now, what they are doing. At least the ones that I saw, like eating, there's all about food and things like that. So I think that's a little bit different.
Right. There's a lot of fun ones that's based on their personal experiences, what they're experiencing in the world and what they're very familiar with. So it's very context based, like what they already know. But then there's other ones that are information based where they're learning about something. So that's where these landmarks and different countries and those kinds of things, they learn about something they want to know more about and how to talk about it in English.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I saw animals was one of the topics. Of course, I'm all about.
Yes. What is pets? And do you have a pet turtle or a pet dog? And what can the pets do? You know, the dog can play catch and these different things. And so, yeah, but it's information based. And so you learn information about the dog or the turtle. And it gives definitions. You know, it's a little bit more information based, not just having a conversation. The conversation is more, if you went to the store, how would you order food or how would you buy things? What would you buy? Mm-hmm. It's conversations that you would have on a daily basis with other people. And then the information is more information about that topic.
But they get to choose. It's not like you
have to choose
this and then this.
Yeah. And there is no order, like zero order.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining us.
Hello, thank you.
So now,
hello.
Forgive me, Stephanie Jimenez is in the chat too, and Stephanie. So I can't remember which one of you have taught like 20 something of these. Have you taught a bunch of these, Stephanie?
I've taught several. I wouldn't say 20 something, but I've done several and I have a lot more booked. So I'm I'm getting a lot of bookings with these. My frenzy was amazing last night and it was mostly the speaking course. So that's been really exciing.
I've heard awesome. People are having great luck with it.
Yeah.
Stephanie Jimenez said it was her that had a lot. Over 20. Awesome. So I'm really glad Stephanie and Lucy can talk about these classes more than Mary and I are here for questioning.
Yes, look, tell me what it is.
So we do have a question from Stephanie Jimenez. And she said, how will we know if we have a parent concern? Stephanie, I think what Lucy was originally talking about was the education team, right? Lucy sent you a list of parent concerns that you're letting other teachers know about, right?
Right. If there's any, from my understanding, this is how I get the work that I do. If there's a parent complaint, if they log them. And so if there's a lot of parents saying, my student isn't engaged or my kid's not engaged, I want more engagement. You know, it might not be a negative complaint, just maybe even a survey. You know how they send us these surveys all the time wanting to improve things for teachers? They do the same for parents, right? And so if they get a survey, you've taken these courses, tell us what you think. And that might be one of the tags is student engagement. And so then they'll send it to me and that's labeled as a parent concern. So it's either from offline feedback, online feedback, or surveys.
Okay. Good. So you want to let us know what some of those concerns are?
Student engagement is one of them. Engaging the student, having an engaging environment and engaging the student, asking good questions, really leading the students into a conversation was one. Giving enough wait time was a really big one. Making sure that the students have enough time to decide how they want to answer. And one of the things I think about is, you know, if you ask me a question, I'm going to have to think about, okay, how do I want to answer this question? And I speak English, right? So we need to give students time to wait. We need to wait for them to decide what is my answer, and then time to wait to put it into English.
Right.
So it's like double wait time.
Right.
And it can be very awkward. And what do teachers do during that wait time? Do you just stare at the student? When is the right time to jump in and help? And a lot of my understanding, I can't say this is what it is, but my understanding is that teachers need to give more wait time and allow the student time to process what is being asked or the activity that they're doing.
Yeah, because one of the big things about this speaking course is we are not doing yes or no questions. We want open-ended questions. So they really need to think about their answers and I don't know.
And you may not you may not ask questions. You may not have a list of questions. I know someone said, oh, we should have questions, already given to us, extension questions, but you don't know what questions to ask until the student says something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then, so learning how to ask leading questions to get them to give you an answer, and then asking follow-up questions that are not yes or no. Like you ask a question, they give you an answer, you take part of their answer and you ask another question.
Right.
And that can be a challenge for some teachers, but that's what keeps the student talking and keep it student related.
Right. I keep going back to the only class I taught. So the playground one, he was trying to tell me that he doesn't have a seesaw and slides and things. It's an open field that they run around on, play soccer, play basketball. And then he's like, and it's all brown. And I'm like, oh, the dirt, and he was trying to explain to me that it's just a dirt field that they just get to run around and kick a ball and play with at school. He has been to other parks, but so we did, I think the lesson mostly talked about at school. So then I got to ask about where else has he seen a park or a slide, and he didn't know what a seesaw was. So that was fun talking about. You can make these fun. I had a blast.
Now, so for that playground one, what is the age that's being, like, that's a topic that we have in level 2, but it seems like a level 2 wouldn't necessarily be able to do a speaking class, or are we talking about that age? No.
Speaking class starts at level 3.
Okay, good. Because they have to be able to speak.
Right. Have to be able to have a conversation, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So,
and I will say, in my experience so far, my students have been very fluent. I mean, I can carry on a conversation very easily with them. I mean, I don't know if that's everyone's experience at this point, but mine have been very fluent. I had a sweet girl. It was my second time teaching her, and I got her through the speaking course. This morning when I was teaching, she began several of her sentences with, to tell you the truth. So I would ask her a question and she would start it with, to tell you the truth. And I thought that was really cool. But another thing, when I first started this, which I only started it last week, but in my first one, and I saw that there were only like 19 slides. I was like, oh no, how am I going to make this last 25 minutes? It was honestly no issue. If you have a child that is speaking and able to carry on the conversation, there are so many prompts on there. There's so many ways to extend. It's honestly, before you know it, you are at 25 minutes and you're like, okay, I've got to finish up these last couple of slides. So, I've heard people or read people in other Facebook groups worried about that. And it's really not been an issue so far.
Yeah.
Now, because it's free form, you're leading the conversation. Are we still required to do every slide? Still required to do that, right? Okay.
Yes. And in fact, one of the points that I was given, I'm given these list of points that I need to make sure that teachers know, or, that they feel is important. One of them is, when you do extension, when you go down these rabbit trails, keep it to 2 minutes. Because if you go more than 2 minutes, you're going to run out of time.
Yeah.
So try to stay within that 2-minute time frame, and then find a way to ease out of that conversation and into the next. So, for example, I was doing Mount Chumalonga, which is Mount Everest, which I didn't know, and I learned. Mount Chumalonga, we're hiking up Mount Chumalonga, and it says, how would you prepare to go on a hike on Mount Chumalonga? Well, the next slide goes into the deepest part, or the Grand Canyon. And so to transition and to stop the conversation, because that can be a long conversation. Wow, you have some great ideas about how to prepare to climb Mount Chumalonga. That's the highest peak in the world. Let's talk about one of the lowest peaks. Turn the slide, we're on the Grand Canyon. So finding a way to ease from one idea to the next without it being awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great tip.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Hey, Teacher Kelly and Danny and Jason. Thanks for coming. Jason said, I've lost count. Laugh out loud. It's been 8 or 9 of them each day.
Wow.
Wow, you've got a.
That's amazing.
He said, mine too. I've only had one girl who only spoke 1 or 2 word responses and a lot of what? Students have been able to do the class easily. Danny said, hi, I had a VIP kid class today. My regular that I've taught for 3 years. I missed him. Oh,
That's sweet.
super cute. Oh, thanks, Danny. So I'm trying to decide if we should like stay on this topic or try to start comparing public speaking, because some people were like, well, what is the difference? What
Well,
do you
let's
guys think?
describe public speaking.
Okay, so I know when you were talking about the ages and stuff, I was thinking, I'm like, I should have done like a side by side, but the ages for public speaking are 10 to 15 years old, and they're levels 5 and up.
Mhm,
So there are 8 lessons and 25 minutes each. So to me, it's a supplementary,
mhm.
and it sounds like you start here and you go here, 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 here. Where the speaking classes, they get to choose the topic. So I
Right.
think that's
It's also not, it is not a free talk class. Public speaking is memorizing a speech and giving it well.
Mhm.
Very,
No.
very different. Very different.
Oh.
And so the teacher's job is to give tips on how to present yourself, how to give the speech with intonation, with good pacing, using gestures correctly, keeping eye contact. Is giving a speech that it is truly public speaking.
Do they create the speech as well?
No.
Or they write? They're not writing the speech.
They're
Oh,
not writing the speech. It is a speech that they memorize,
Okay.
and they do it in a set of lessons, and then they go to the next speech.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I
there are
have not
different
taught that
types
one
of
either.
speeches. It's like a narrative speech, a persuasive speech, an informative speech. So there's different types, and they learn the different types of speeches. Giving speeches is very, very, it's important in China. Like
It's really super
lots
important.
of kids go through these giving speeches and go through competitions for that. And so it really helps those students.
Yeah, Mary, you
Wow.
want to tell your experience with that?
Yes, I haven't taught either the speaking or the speech giving classes, but I have twins that I've been coaching over the last number of months, and both of them got to the very second to end, and now the one girl is heading to nationals this weekend.
Oh, that's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's one of 100 students across China that will be in this competition. So it's been all about, I mean, she had to create the speech, but
Mhm.
then also in the speaking contest, it's really interesting what they're tested on. There are always 4 components, and one is the prepared speech, one is being able to give an impromptu speech,
Mhm.
one is a talent, and then this round in nationals, it's knowing how to debate for 2 minutes.
Mm.
So it's
Wow.
really advanced. I mean, she's 8 years old. I don't know if I know how
Wow.
to debate. She's level 6, but at 8, just turned
Wow.
newly 8, and she's having to do that. It's amazing, and the level of detail that they want the contestants to have in
Mhm.
terms of eye contact, animation, volume, like really
Mm.
performing on stage,
Yes.
a real performance rather than just being able to repeat the words.
Mhm.
Super important.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jason said, I never taught the public speaking one. I'm a horrible public speaker and didn't want to try teaching it. I am too.
Well, it could make you a better public speaker. It gives
I don't want to mess
lots
up
of
somebody else's
tips.
kids.
But it gives videos, and they watch the video, and the video is a good way to give the speech, as well as bad things you can do in the speech, and they find the problems. So, I mean, it really does walk you through and tells you how to help the student.
Cool. So I don't have
It's
to
really
correct
good.
writing.
No.
Maybe
No.
I'll go certified for it.
Maybe I should apply too now that I've coached someone to nationals.
Now that you've coached someone else. I have a similar story. I have a student who he's level 8 now, but 2 years ago we went through his public speaking, and he won I can't remember the name of it, Wells College speaking. Anyway, it was for all of China. He was number 1 in his category, 10 to 13 years old.
Wow.
8-year-olds. He was 10 years old, the youngest competitor.
Wow.
His picture and everything was on New York Times Square.
Wow.
I mean, it was like a huge competition.
Wow.
And he won that one, and then he's won several after that. He just got invited to Queens College for his secondary school, which is
Wow.
the top
Wow.
college in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Like, I'm so excited for him.
That is
Yes.
so exciting.
It was
really cool.
it was really, really, really difficult to get into the school. And part of it was giving a speech and going to an interview and answering questions on the spot.
Wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
rough. Bye, Danny. Thanks for popping in. She said it's kind of like in level 7, but they wrote theirs. So in level 7, do they write a speech?
Yes.
They do have a speech. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And level 8, they have a speech every single class.
That they
Except
write.
they write some type of speech every class until they get to one of the classes where it's a written assignment, I think.
Wow. Stephanie, have you
Wow.
taught any of the public speaking ones?
I'm not certified for that one. And honestly, I don't think I'm really that interested in it. Yeah. I mean, maybe it would help me. Who knows?
I was like, I'm going to get every certification
Yeah.
all the time for VIPKid. Advanced grammar? No. No. So the last couple I've been like, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. And I was a little hesitant to even get the speaking course, but then people were posting, oh, they're getting so many bookings. And I thought, why not? So I did it, and I'm so happy. I wasn't getting many short notice bookings. I would say the last few months, I really haven't gotten any. I'm now setting that before I go to bed at night, and I'm waking up with short notice, and it's the speaking course. So it's very popular.
A great opportunity to open you up to new students.
Yes.
And build a new following of students.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great.
I didn't have very many left open for Frenzy, but what I had booked, but I didn't see any more speaking ones on there. I'll have to check, but
I haven't
fun.
opened classes in so long. I just have my regulars booking, but it's been months since I've opened a slot just to anybody.
Right. Now, how do you work that? Are you like ready, set, go, open, and then they take it?
It's mostly all priority bookings.
Oh, that's
so
true.
I just priority book. Now, when I was on vacation, I did have to do some coordination. I'm online at this time. Are you online? Okay, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason said, I've avoided the public speaking and the course where it is all singing and dancing.
Come on, Jason, sing and dance.
I don't know that I have the new level 1, but I did do Voice of VIPKid. I taught one of those, and that was not my favorite.
You know what would be fun some week, Casey, is we could have teachers on here having to go through like a Voice of VIPKid. We have to.
We need Morgan to come be the teacher.
Exactly.
I'm not singing. Nobody wants to hear that. Super fun. So can you think of anything else for the public speaking one? I have them all open up here just in case we need to look at them.
For the public speaking?
Yeah. Now, did you do any of those videos, or no parent concerns for those? I think you said mostly.
It's been such a long time since I did those. That was like forever ago. I don't even know, but it was forever ago. And I know that I made the videos for it, and I made the like if you get certified for something, and I don't remember how they put it. Anyway, parent concern videos. I did do some of those, but I don't remember there being a big deal about it like there is for this course. It was given out to teachers, in batches, and almost immediately within 2 weeks, I was given some assignments. These are some parent concerns. I was like, okay. So
I think they all, for most of the classes now, the speaking and the the speaking courses and the public speaking. I think there's like the before they have some videos they can watch, and then us, and then the after they have, their post lessons and stuff. I think they're both the same there. So if we're comparing the two, yeah. Let's see. I think that's about it. I mean,
I really don't think there's much there's more contrast than comparison. They are so different. They are not the same thing.
Right.
They only have the word speaking. That's the only thing in common. That's it.
Okay, so public speaking, you're standing up there, they're giving a speech and you're helping them through it and coaching them through it.
Right.
So you're more of a coach there. You're coaching them through public speaking. The speaking courses, you are buddies hanging out.
Yes.
Coffee chatting. Like
yes. The public speaking, there's not a whole lot of, let me ask you some questions. And no.
Yeah.
Give me the speech. Here's how you can improve. The one similarity is there is an evaluation. And this is something a lot of teachers are missing out on, is that evaluation at the end of the class is super important. And I know that some teachers just mark it off and say, oh, you did great. But self-evaluation is so important because it makes the students self-aware of mistakes that they've made, how they're doing, how they can improve, and what they can practice. And if you skip that slide, then you're robbing them of the opportunity to evaluate themselves, not just for that lesson, but in the future. Because when they get accustomed to saying, how did I do today? How did I do with pronunciation? And then you don't give them that chance in the future, not even in VIPKid, but at any time in life, they're not going to think about, how did I do? How can I improve? And we should always give them that opportunity. Even if we walk them through it. Level 3, you're going to walk them through that. But when you get to levels 6, 7, and 8, they should be able to self-evaluate and really evaluate their performance. It's important.
I want to give an example of that. So this student that I have that's going to nationals, she has a little brown bear and a little purple bear sitting on the chair as her judges. So when she's giving the speech to me, they're the first ones that talk about how well she did with that scenario. And one will do the praise and the other will do the constructive criticism. And it's great because then it's not coming from me, it's coming from her. She's learned to evaluate. It cuts past the mom who's always saying she needs to do better. And it's real evaluation. And then I just take it from there to whatever extent is needed. But you're right, Lucy, it's so important that they learn to do that.
Right. And it's just like some of you, if you haven't taught it yet, you've taught other classes that have them now. Like they have the little happy faces and things like that. And they're just kind of, there's a topic and saying, how did I do? Things like that. So.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The thing that I do like on the speaking course is after you do your little smiley faces, under it, the teacher, you direct the child and you show them that part and you can tell them what they did right and then the things they need to improve on. So it's almost like it's already there. So you don't feel as awkward about it. Like, oh, you need to practice this. Like it's there. The student knows it's coming, and that's made it a lot easier for me. And, whatever we kept working on during class, I just kind of plug that in for what they need to keep working on.
It's kind of like a little report at the end.
Yeah.
Little two-liner. And I like that it gives you some examples. So as the teachers, it'll say like pronunciation, different examples that you can use to talk about.
That was another thing that I saw a lot of questions about. Are we supposed to be giving any corrections? This is a speaking course. It's free talk. Should we give any corrections? Well, if we're giving an evaluation at the end, then we probably should be giving some positive corrections during the class so they know exactly what we're talking about. Yes, we should be giving corrections during class.
Yeah.
That was another one of the parent concerns.
I think my biggest one was my have a dog type thing. Everything was my. So you have a dog? Oh, I have a dog too,
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, hey, Evelyn. Thanks for coming. She said, hey, friends. Kelly doesn't do singing and dancing either. Casey has a puppy on the screen. Yes, I was saying teacher Victoria Gillick, some of you know her. She made it for me for my birthday. So I got to download it and keep it. And I had it downloaded on my other computer, but it didn't move like it is now. So it was supposed to, but it didn't. So
That's cool.
Evelyn said, hi, Stephanie. Let's see. I only did one public speaking class, but I found it harder to correct the speech when you have the added language barrier. And Evelyn said, I just got the certification. For which one, Evelyn? The speaking course or the public speaking? I keep getting those backwards, I gotta think. And Jason said, I like the slides that expect the students to ask the teacher questions. Oh, yes. Yeah, we didn't mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stephanie, you want to tell them about that one?
Yeah. So you get to a slide and it's the student's turn to turn around and ask you the question. And it has the question with some prompts on there, and it's got several choices so that they can ask you some things, but it's really just a chance for them to truly practice the conversation, not just them answering, but you're giving it back to them for them to lead the conversation. And, it's so much fun answering it. And then, like the young lady that I was speaking about earlier, she and I were just able to go back and forth. Like we were just good friends sitting down, having a conversation. Yeah. And even for the students who maybe aren't quite that fluent, there are enough prompts on there to help get them through. But I think it's a really good opportunity for them to really show what they have learned and that they are understanding this. They're not just spitting out an answer. They're taking charge of the conversation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's so cute. Kelly said, I love that slide. I just did my first speaking class today. Oh, which one did you teach, Kelly? And Stephanie, which ones are your favorite? Oh, Jason too. Answer that one too.
Taught several about food, restaurants. I've enjoyed those. It's been a lot of fun. The one about starter, main course, and dessert. I've had some of those. Those have, it's really neat just talking about, well, this is what we eat here, and they'll tell me what they eat there. The one I personally enjoyed the most was the one about Yellowstone. I really enjoyed that lesson. There was also one on music. It was really interesting. And the little girl, she was 13 and she loved classical music. She knew a lot about it and she was really able to tell me a lot and how it made her feel peaceful and relaxed when she would listen to it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Kelly said the one about Orlando, Florida. I showed pictures from my 2 trips there. Awesome. I'm going there in a couple of weeks. I'll have to make sure I have pictures ready just in case. Jason said his favorite were the restaurant ones. I love food. Every kid I've had also loves food. My restaurant one canceled. I was telling Lucy beforehand. I was so bummed.
Yeah.
Kelly said, can't wait for that lesson. I've been to Yellowstone. I've not traveled the States. I need to travel the States.
Casey, you and I should go on a national park tour and just keep going wherever my son works.
Yes, I do want to, really.
My 2-year-old has a book on Yellowstone, and I grabbed it right before I taught. So I was able to just kind of flip through to extend. I mean, we didn't read this book, but there were, like we could talk about other animals that live in Yellowstone and just look at some of the different pictures. So that was pretty cool. And it was obviously very simple because it's made for a younger child. So that was really nice.
Yeah, just a little vocabulary, a little like great.
Yeah.
Jason said his least favorite was a video game one. Why is that, Jason? That seems to be where I feel like we're gonna have a billion of those to teach. I think a lot of kids are gonna be choosing that one. So again, correct me if I'm wrong. You might have like a food one, but there's like a level 2 food, a level 3, like aren't they in? There's quite a few food ones, but different levels of it, or no?
Yes.
Okay, I thought James told me that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, each level is different. The topics are in lots of the different levels, and it's the conversations are different based on the level that you're in, so the student can be successful.
That's awesome.
Does that sound right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a question for all of you. James originally, and I know it was true originally, the feedback was backwards from what we're used to. So you know how like the good stuff was the good stuff. I shouldn't really say that, but you know what I mean? Like they did
excellence versus
exactly. And then, you fill in the bubbles. Well, he said the public speaking ones, no, the speaking course ones were opposite. So his first 2 classes, he gave them all bad ones on accident. Yeah. So he wrote to me right away. So this video is like, because James messaged me and said, you need to let teachers know. But when I taught it yesterday, it was the other way around.
They're just trying.
So have they changed that? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
Mine was still opposite this morning when I filled it out. So yeah.
I tell you, I read them over and over and over. So I'm all worried now, but so teachers, make sure you're really reading the feedback and marking what pertains to the student, because don't just fill in those bubbles. They might be different than you're used to.
That's funny.
Oh, thank you, James, for that tip.
I have one question that's totally unrelated, but love to know. When you are reading parent feedback, is it translating into English for you these days?
I haven't had parent feedback in forever.
Mine hasn't been translating for about 3 weeks. It just remains Chinese.
There's not a translate button under them?
Yep, just won't translate.
Oh,
weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got the translate button. I'm just copying and pasting. And I have moms that write volumes, so it's like
it's nice
have to
you
copy
still
and
have
paste,
a lot.
copy and paste, and then I get the whole text.
Yeah, I don't know. Jason said he almost gave all bad ones after until he actually went back and read it. And Kelly said, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm doing feedback right now. Just about to do the speaking course too. Thanks for mentioning. And Jason said his has been translating.
It has been translating. Okay. So I wonder if I just need to send something and say,
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I have not had feedback in forever.
Most of mine are all given in English. Like
that's cool.
I don't have many in
Chinese.
I have a 6-year-old that her parents do not speak any English. And it is so cute because she doesn't want to be there sometimes and they're trying to get her to. And she rolls her eyes and she's so funny. And I've had her 3 days a week since she first started. So she's only 6. She's like over it all. Super fun. So I am so excited for these speaking courses. And actually, I'm not going to shout out now, but I'm starting on a new platform that's all speaking like this one is. So I'm like just super excited because this is the way I taught in Japan. It was all just free talking.
It's the way kids learn the best, I think. Just to be able to have free.
About something they're excited about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So with
that
the
just
adults,
sounds
it's more
so great.
Yeah, it's more of what's needed, like what is your job? Do you travel? Okay, let's talk about airplanes and what you need to do at the airport, but with the kids, it's like, what do they like? What, I love it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Anything you can think of that we need to add for public speaking or the speaking course? I can't think of anything either. If you're not certified, go check this one out. It's a lot of fun, the speaking course. And say hi to Lucy on this. You'll see Lucy.
Be kind.
Oh, they should.
I may have to open a couple of slots. It sounds like fun.
Super fun.
Awesome.
So, hey, everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being here again. It's always fun to see everybody on these Mondays. And you guys, I love you in the crew on the screen right now. Thank you so much. And
thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.